Hi, my name is Ethan Townsend. I'll be presenting for Miller Group Team 5. This is for Hewlett Packard's Merced decision for Class BOS 665 Capstone Spring 2014. So for our problem statement, Jim Davis, the general manager of Hewlett Packard, is faced with the decision of whether or not to continue allocating resources to their Unix-based products when they have a new performance-enhancing technology on the horizon. So the overall situation SWOT is as follows. Their strengths are that HP has a well-known name that people know and want to use. They're also unique compared to their competitors as they build their own software and hardware. They also have a large number of products that use their own integrated chipset. Their weaknesses are that they are slow in developing products and then going into production. This is exampled by the fact that their Merced product is actually 6 months delayed. Also, Sun Microsystems is gaining market share and taking that away from HP. HP is currently not investing as much in research and development as they used to, and they're also faced with several production delays that are forcing them to make tough decisions on a future decision. Opportunities are that they have the ability to integrate the software and hardware as they produce both items. HP can gain some of the lost market share back by developing new chipsets that can work seamlessly with their current hardware. They then will have the ability to move into a more retail setting, gaining personal consumers as opposed to businesses. Finally, threats. Sun Microsystems has become the Unix leader and is becoming more costly for HP to develop, specifically the Unix hardware. HP is designing new chipsets that will not be compatible with the older version, and this is leaving current customers in the dark as they will have to update their whole system or try to get support from a competitor. Porter 6 forces are as follows. The barriers to entry are basically that a positive is that HP has specific operating systems barring any additional entry. What this means is that each primary player has an operating system unique to that company. Another positive is that all the power is consolidated within the top three companies. All the lower level players have basically been enveloped and integrated. A negative is that there are extremely high development costs. Multi-million-dollar expenses are the norm. Another negative is that strong competitive presence within the market by companies such as ARM and Sun have a good operating system that can compete on both the high and the low ends of the market. As for power of suppliers, a positive is that they are varied by product when working with Windows or Unix. By using both operating systems, HP can jump across any segment of the market. A negative is that working with Intel for architecture. This means that the operations are not in-house and therefore HP cannot guarantee the quality of the product. Another negative is that the strong presence of Wintel might become a major player. And what this means is that HP might have to abandon their Unix operating system, forfeiting any sunk costs into the Unix system itself. As for threat of substitutes, a positive is that the unique design and capabilities make customers more prone to stay. This means that there are high switching costs that are incurred when switching between a company's operating systems. Another positive is that the new IA64 architecture is poised to triumph over the older and less capable Unix architecture. A negative is that the updated McKinley will release in just 1 year. The new version of McKinley will quickly outdate the Merced chip after its release. Another negative is that Sun has high-level alternative already in the market. Sun's Unix operating systems with a great deal of capability are already in the market taking away share from the Merced. In terms of the power of channels and end users, a positive is that high usage of mini computers and mainframes, meaning the current technology is well suited to the current operating systems. Another positive is that the high power server market are Unix dependent, and due to the total nature of the operating system, the company will incur high switching costs to transition from one to another. A negative is that the OS depends on the needs of the end user. Consumer dictates whether they need an OS for the mini computer, server, desktop, handheld market. Each OS has its purpose and limitations within each market. Competitor rivalry. A positive is that there are two high-level operating systems. Both the Merced and the McKinley are higher powered than their predecessors and offer numerous advantages over those offered by competitors. A negative is that Sun has a large presence in the server market already. Sun is gaining market share with its systems and is a force to be watched. And finally, other stakeholders. They include Intel, which is currently a partner and an ally with HP in designing the IA64 architecture. A negative, of course, is Sun. Sun could wield a commanding influence over the Unix market that might be best to use the proprietary design and just work with them. And then finally, ARM is an up-and-coming competitor with the low end of the market, but could a serious threat in the future. In general, the situation analysis is as followed. The company was founded in 1939 by Bill Hewlett and David Packard. The startup initial investment was about $538. The headquarters is in Palo Alto, California, and in 1998 they exceeded 43 billion in sales and 3.1 billion in net profits. They're an industry leader with a reputation for innovative products, and in 1966 they built their first computer, the HP 211 6A. Their collaborators are the American Library Association, WGBH, NCAM, with Microsoft Accessibility, and they also work with Intel as well. Their customers are primarily business to business, but in addition to that, they also have a lot of government contracts, independent users, customer relations, and of course, their additional global reach. Their competitors are Dell, Apple, Sun Microsystems, Oracle, Intel, and Compaq until the merger in 2001. Option 1 to the problem statement is that HP disinvests from the Unix market altogether and hopes for a first mover advantage with the new technology that they will soon be releasing. The pros of option 1 is that the public is already questioning HP's commitment to the Unix market. Therefore, a move into a new market would actually confirm belief. The technology in this particular market becomes obsolete very rapidly. It would be extremely beneficial to be the first movers of a groundbreaking technology. Also, lower fixed costs associated with Intel manufacturing rather than the 3.5 billion it takes to build a state-of-the-art RISC chip slash Unix facility chip is a little bit more advantageous. Also, more resources are available for R&D on new technology. They maintain a first mover advantage, and of course, the life cycle of the technology is short. The cons of option 1 are that while HP waits, Sun Microsystems is launching their second tier Unix-based machine, which will gain ground even more in the market. HP will also eliminate a source of revenue of a reported $10 billion in 1997. Customers will also be discouraged by the inconvenience of switching to new technologies, and even though Unix was expected to slow down, it still accounted for nearly $25 billion worth of revenue worldwide. Once the new technology hits the market, it will be subject to limitations, and it will not give HP any sustained advantage. The summary for option 1 is that the claim, if HP eliminates all Unix-based products, they will have more resources to distribute to new technology. The data shows that RISC as design is approaching the borders of its performance, and the economies of scale have become increasingly unattractive. But the rebuttal to this is that if HP can successfully become a top-tier vendor and sustain a competitive advantage over Sun Microsystems, then HP should continue allocating resources into Unix. Option 2 is that HP abandons Unix and waits for McKinley to be completed. They will divert resources from Unix to Sun Microsystems. This option would allow HP to focus on building the McKinley chipset. They would not have the resources tied up in other projects such as the Merced chip. They would also be able to just supply hardware to Sun for the Unix system's needs. This would allow them extra resources and possibly speed the project up. The pros for option 2 are that you continue to sell hardware to Sun Microsystems for Unix operations, meaning they incur the substantial costs associated with that and we work off their proprietary systems, and we still have a small revenue stream with Unix systems using our proprietary design. The cons of option 2 is that there is no product to sell while waiting for McKinley, meaning no Merced and new Unix. We also have a loss of all our R&D on the Merced chipset, meaning all the sunk costs in the Merced chipset are gone. We also have a potential loss of current customers to competitors, loss of current customers because no maintenance or expansion, and also a loss of the majority proportion of the $25 billion in the sales of Unix systems. Finally, the banking on a new unproven chip could be delayed. The option 2 summary is that the claim HP would solely be able to focus on the new IA64 McKinley chipset to grow business in the future. The data is that there is a large potential to gain in the market share early with this adoption, even if each business segment is different and requires different computing needs for different servers. The rebuttal to this is that unless HP is able to maintain current customer base without leaving them in the dark with no support while they wait for a new chipset and can successfully convince customers to change the option for its architecture, this is not a sustainable option. Our recommendation, and also option 3, would be to release the Merced Wintel machine and market it as a bridge from an old, declining Unix platform to a new, more powerful Windows-based system. We wait for McKinley and market it to new IT builds and redesigns as a way to do more with less hardware, and as Merced ages and manufacturing efficiencies improve, we use it to compete with ARM on the lower end of the spectrum. The pros of our recommendation is that we have a substantial first mover advantage with both the Merced chipset and the McKinley chipset on the new IA64 operating system. Also, it allows a bridge from Unix to Windows, and we work with Intel. This also moves Unix users over to Intel. The cons is that it could potentially eliminate Unix revenue. The recommendation summary claim will be that moving Wintel machines will position HP better for the future while retaining current customers. The data supporting this says that since Merced has backwards compatibility, it should allow for current HP clients to move to a Wintel system when they are themselves ready. The rebuttal to this claim is that unless Merced cannot handle the Unix operating system, this recommendation will definitely work. Finally, for implementation, we wish to release Merced. After 6 months delay, we want to use Merced to reach the remaining Unix market, and after McKinley is released, we want to use Merced as a backwards compatible platform for the handheld markets. We also want to rely on McKinley to capture the upscale market in 1 year when it is released. The budget will be minimal since it is already in the works. And then in addition to that, we want to move to Intel now and abandon the Unix market. We want to use immediate integration and development in already standing OS, which will outmode Unix. Thank you for your time, and I hope you've enjoyed our presentation. Once again, this is Ethan Townsend for the HP Decision. Thanks again.